Today is Sunday and I'm going to show you how Sunday is the most important thing in my whole self-improvement journey, because this is the day where I can set up myself great for the whole week. This is how I make sure that I feel amazing, that I feel motivated. And there are probably 3 or 4 things that I do every Sunday that makes my whole week productive, as well as this day. So, as every Sunday, I have a small to-do list that I have to make. And you know, it's not like I have to wake up at 4 a.m, I have to grind some work. No, because that would make me a robot. And self-improvement is not just about grinding some work, but actually about improving you as a person. So normally I wake up around 8 or 9. And actually the first hour of the day, I pretty much don't do anything. I just eat my breakfast. After breakfast, I give myself some time to go outside, play with something. And this is really important because self-improvement, again, is not just work. And something that makes me feel always motivated, always productive, is giving myself time to do fun activities. Now it's 12. And the other important thing why Sunday is so good of a day, because we can prepare ourselves for the whole week. So the second thing of productive Sunday is studying for a whole week. So this week I have a lot of work to do, I have a lot of books to read, for a lot of tasks to prepare, but this is great because if today is a good day, that means that my whole week is going to be productive, it's going to be very, very great. And I'm going to feel motivated. So we study, we go outside, we do what's fun. Then what's really important as for Sundays is that each Sunday, as well as I journal every single day in my journal, but I also take my weekly journal where I look on my week, I see what I did bad, what I did good, and I reflect on it by setting new goals, by setting a new mood, and I'm going to show you how we do that. So our day is really simple, but this makes me feel really productive. So wake up whenever you want, do first the fun activities, then study, reflect, and most importantly, I always do sports, because if I do sports on the Sunday, on the weekend, the whole week feels energized and interesting. So you're going to see what I do today, and see you. One cool thing that I also realized is that when I switch my mindset from thinking that I have to make all these videos, I have to make a specific self-improvement related videos, tell you how to do something, and just ask myself what I want to do. And now it's no longer I have to make this video, but now it's I want to make this video. I want to make a video that it's interesting for me to watch. I want to make something that it's cool to see. And now I think that self-improvement has to switch from just grinding some work that you put for yourself and instead trying to become as interesting person as you want. And one question that helps me to do that, helps me to study productively, helps me to create videos, helps me to, I don't know, do a lot of different things, from sports to playing the piano, creating, drawing, making videos, is asking myself one question. Would other people want to switch life with me and live my life? Is my life interesting enough? Like, am I doing enough of interesting activities that other people would like to switch lives with me? And this question motivates me to work, motivates me to create, and you will see a lot of new and great things. One of the most important things that I do between studying, in breaks, where studying becomes boring, is I do push-ups. And push-ups has never hurt anyone. So let's go. So here is a little update throughout my day. Now it's 4:30, And most of the time, what I was doing is basically studying. I was just reading history books, preparing for exam, and this is something that you need to keep in mind. In order to study well, in order to have the discipline, the consistency, well, you just have to sit down, you have to do what's boring and go through it. And by no means I'm not perfect, and just like probably most of you, I read a book, then I want to open my phone. I read a book, I want to open my phone. But what I do each time is I tell myself that, please don't open my phone, finish reading the book. And I say to myself that with each time that I not open my phone and I stay focused as long as I can, next and new each time it's going to be easier. And well, most of the time this is what happens. Another thing that I learned, and you will soon see what I did, is that I implement good procrastination. So most of us probably procrastinate by opening our phones, watching something on YouTube, watching something on social media. But what I do and what I learned to do is when I want to procrastinate or I get bored from my work, I go downstairs and I just spam whatever I can on my piano. And well, you know, for this thing you have to, of course, know how to play music. But this is something that you can take away from me. I procrastinate when I am tired and when I'm bored with playing the piano. And it seems like it's a procrastination, but at the same time I'm practicing my piano skills. So you can do the same with a habit that you pick, with something that you want to learn. So for example, you place a notebook on your desk, you place a pen, and whenever you get tired or bored from work, you pick a pen and you draw something. You sketch out something very, very fast, very, very quickly, and this is your good procrastination. And this applies to anything. Like I said, you can just spam push-ups like I did. You can spam, I don't know, pull-ups. You can read a book. You can even have a book opened at your table, and whenever you get bored, you just read a few lines. So you have to find a habit that you can procrastinate on when you get bored with some work that you're doing, with studying, and anything. So, you know, this is something that you can keep in mind, that there is good procrastination and there is bad procrastination. So choose the good one. One important thing that I realized today with studying, with doing all the productive work, is that a few months ago, I wouldn't achieve this. A few months ago, I wouldn't be able to sit down, focus for a few hours, for 5 hours to do the boring stuff. And I realized that it's only because I have managed to cut down a lot of things from my life. And when I started self-improvement, I thought that, yes, I will have to work, I will have to study, but I did not particularly think about the things that I will have to cut out. And when I look at it with a brutal and honest way, I realized that I have to cut eating too much sugars, eating too much junk food, watching porn, watching social media, scrolling, procrastinating on it. And after I have cut down probably 90% of these things, right now I see that studying, working, and just sitting for a few hours is like nothing to me. Now it seems funny, and this is something that you have to keep in mind. When you cut down and you cut out all the interesting, the fun activities out of your life, the fun thing becomes your work, your studying, and something that used to be boring. So keep that in mind, and let's keep working. So now my Sunday is coming to an end because it's 8:30 and it's almost time for me to go to sleep. So after all the studying and all the things that I wanted to do, we have the last and probably most important habit that I do every single Sunday. And this is what I call mini podcast with myself on a paper. So to put it in simply, what it is that every single Sunday I reflect on my whole week. And why this is important is because each week, if reflected great, you have a great improvement the next week because you have all the goals that you wanted to accomplish, you have all the things listed down that you want to do or you have to improve on, and then with each week, you try to achieve those goals. So the first thing that I do is I just go through my week as much as I can remember, and I try to tell all the things that I did. So for example, what did I study? What are the achievements that I achieved? Maybe there is something that I did not do. Then everything about my content creation, how many videos I created, what are my plans, maybe there were some good insights, changes, and overall, all improvement. And I think that this is really important because, well, you get to see what you worked, you get to see what you did, and when you try to blindly guess what you did throughout your week, most of the times you don't see minor things that you did wrong, you don't see what you can improve on, and overall, your self-improvement and this growth just becomes slow. So it's really easy to just sit down, scramble a few things down, and then you know exactly what you need to do. So we have our all week listed. There is no structure. You just tell everything that you did, all the insights, all the bad things, all the good things, and we will move on to the next thing. So if each week we set ourselves goals for the next week, now we have to reflect on the goals that we did. So for example, if last week I set a goal for myself to create three videos, do sports 3 times, finish my homework, do the test correct, I now reflect on this. And most importantly, I set the goals for the next week. So as you can see, for the next week, I have a lot of tests upcoming. I have new ideas for my Instagram account, for my YouTube channel, and there is just a lot of changes that I want to do. So it's really important for you to list everything and write everything down on these special Sunday journaling, special Sunday podcasts that I call on a paper, because when you have a lot of ideas, when you have a lot of new things that you want to do, the biggest problem that comes down and the biggest problem overall when you want to do so much is that you forget most of the things. So in order to not do that, I write as much as I can on paper. And if I have to be quick, I use Apple Notes, but this is another idea. So after we have new goals, after we have reflected on our week, we can call that our Sunday is finished productively because new week has new goals. This day we have studied, we have did sports. As you saw, we did push-ups, pull-ups on our breaks. We have reflected and we can go to sleep with a clear mind. Because without all these things that I showed you today, we would live a scattered life. There will be too much going on and it's really hard to focus on a few primary things. So give this journaling a try. Again, it's called Mini Podcast with myself. You do that every single Sunday. And we finish with my beloved quote. Create more, consume less, help people, be creative, and get rewarded. Amen. Very easy, very quick, yet it brings awesome results. So we are going to end our vlog here. I hope that you learned a lot today from my day-to-day life. I'm not really good at filming and vlogging myself, so I'm doing that as much as I can. I'm learning from each of my mistakes. And I'm hoping to see you in my community, top link in the description, and see you in my next video.